First of all, I would like to ask the delegation about the idea of submitting the law to religious rules. Is that compatible with the idea of freedom of belief and religion? The question that I'm asking is to know if the role of a constitution is of defining who is a Muslim and who is not. And that in the Constitution of Pakistan, there are definitions of what is Islam and what is not Islam, and so who is or not Muslim. The second comment is that there is an Article 20 in the Constitution which recognizes the freedom of conscience. But some constitutional provisions don't follow the same line. In particular, Article 2A, 263A and B. In accordance with the Second Amendment of the Constitution, the Ahmadi are not considered as Muslims. And this Second Amendment is aimed particularly at the Ahmadi. And my question is the following. Does that not constitute interference of the state in freedom of belief? Now I'm going to come back to the law on blasphemy. In the Pakistani Criminal Code, there are provisions which sanction attacks on religion and the sacred. For example, Section 295B and 295C. They include articles concerning blasphemy, that is profanity or profane treatment of the Quran, insults to the Prophet, and they can lead to imprisonment and also capital punishment. Section 298 sanctions attacks on religious sentiments, religious feelings. Section 298A penalizes insults or attacks to the spouses or the family of the Prophet, and Section 298B and C target in particular the Ahmadiyya, the Qadiani and other groups, and thus penalizes their request to be considered as Muslims. So in accordance with these articles, to request 198B and C of the Criminal Code, they may not call themselves Muslims. Although this community says it is Muslim. On this whole series of laws on blasphemy, the Special Rapporteur on the Independence of Judges and Lawyers, following a visit to Pakistan in 2012, estimated, and I'm going to quote the Special Rapporteur, these laws serve particular interests of extremist groups. They are not just contrary to the Constitution of Pakistan, but also to the standards of international human rights law, in particular those related to non-discrimination and freedom of expression and opinion. End of quotation. And the Special Rapporteur recommended to Pakistan that they abrogate or amend the blasphemy laws in order to align themselves with the obligations of Pakistan under human rights law. So at the level of the law and the Constitution above all and the Criminal Code of Pakistan, there are problems which can affect human rights and in particular the freedom of belief and religion, Article 18 of the Covenant. Now, in practice, the social, political climate in general and social pressure are a true source of discrimination, in particular on the situation of the Ahmadi community. So by way of example, just a single example, on the 13th of April 2014, a student, Ahmadi Mashal Khan, was lynched at the University Abdul Wali Khan in Mardan. And the problem that arises is that within the social context, there is a certain aggression towards the Ahmadi community, but not just to that community. Certain other religious minorities, such as Christians or the Hazara, who are Shiite, are often subject to attacks in society on their temples, their mosques, and that thus it is that an Ahmadi mosque is currently closed. Why is that? What is the reaction of the delegation to this climate, which is hostile towards religious minorities in Pakistan, and what is the government doing to overcome these aggressive phenomena towards religious minorities? Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would like to give the floor to Ambassador, and he will respond.
Thank you, sir. We've had many more questions again, and we welcome the observations and the comments of the esteemed members of the committee. Regarding the Ahmadiyyas, after the Second Amendment, Article 260, brackets 3 of 1974, in the Constitution of Pakistan, 1973, the Ahmadiyya community has been declared as a minority. The Ahmadiyyas have, under Article 20 of the Constitution, all rights as citizens of Pakistan, including to profess their religious beliefs without discrimination. 13 publications, including a daily, weeklies, fortnightlies, and monthly bulletins, magazines, and newspapers, are brought out by the Ahmadi community. Now, turning to the issue of Mashal Khan, firstly, as far as we know, the delegation knows Mashal Khan was not an Ahmadi, but that does not change the seriousness of this crime. The government has taken serious notice of the murder of the young student, and I would like to update the committee on the latest situation